Ohio. I never thought the only thing I knew about Cincinnati, Ohio was that you had your fancy fountain downtown. I watched WKRP. That's how I knew that. And I knew that you had Reds baseball. Back then, the Bengals were not too bad. They're not very much. They're not very good anymore. They're due. But I didn't know anything about Cincinnati. I was in fear. I did not know. And God was speaking to my heart again. He said, I've got something for you. You know, I am moved by some of the grace and love that has gone around in light of the things that have just happened in terms of hate groups. We had a sermon this morning. My pastor was talking about the story about when Christ was eating at the table, and a beggar woman came and said, Jesus, heal my daughter. And Jesus said, you don't feed food to the beggars, and this food is not for you, for outsiders. She said, Lord, even the dogs eat the crumbs from the master's table. And Jesus turned and said, woman, because of your faith, what you asked for is yours. And I love that, because that is, I think, Jesus just realized his ministry went beyond his own group, and he saw what others are, and saw that despite where we come from, who we are, that we all share that divine spark within us. And I think there are those who are speaking up, and I know Immanuel feels the same way, that we hadn't ought to lose hope. That there are still those people out there that are standing up and saying love and grace and compassion are the ways of Jesus, not hate. When I think about my journey to Cincinnati, God did the impossible. I felt like God did the impossible. I think God is doing something special in this church right now. I think that whether you know it or not, and whether you can see it right now or not, God has got a plan for you, as he did for my life.
That's all right.
You know, and there are so many times in my life when I said, no way, God. I'm a bad listener. You wouldn't think so, going through CPE. I'm actually a pretty bad listener, especially when it comes to God. But God has got grace on me. I'm telling you, I've messed up so many times, but God keeps on me. He has not lost sight of who I am and who I belong to. God has brought me through a lot. But I'll tell you this. What he has brought me through has been tough, but it has been a blessing every step of the way. Those times when I was being beat up in school, you know, I have a heart now for those who are abused. Do you know the times that everybody thought I was less than smart and slow? You know, that developed an empathy within me and helped me to see others in a different light. It helped me to have compassion. Those things that God was taking me through, there was a reason for that. There was a purpose for that. He brought me through that. And today I'm thankful for the things that he brought me through. That's hard to say sometimes, because some of us can go through some difficult times. But God is there instructing us all along, all the way through. God told me then when I was at seminary, I want you to be a chaplain. So I said, okay, I'm going to listen this time. And I went up, I was in the Methodist ordination system. And the Methodist district superintendent said, you want to be a chaplain, huh? I said, yes, I do. I think God's called that on my heart. I think I want to be a chaplain. And he said, well, you'll be a chaplain if we tell you you can. I said, oh, I don't know. And so eventually, though, I heard God's voice and said, this is not the right denomination for you. Do you know how much courage it took for me to leave my beloved denomination I grew up in to choose another denomination, but that's where God was leading me. He was leading me in that direction, and the experiences that I've had in chaplaincy and through CPE, they've all taught me to be a better listener. They've taught me to be more graceful. They taught me to be more loving. And do you know the times that we go into the bedside, Immanuel, me, and chaplains, God is teaching us something new each and every day. Each and every person that we come into contact with, they've got a story. They've had struggles. They've had difficulty. And they have had stories of where God brought them through. You know, I get blessed more going to the bedside than I'm doing blessing. Does that seem fair? But isn't God great? I mean, my job is to go and bless the patient. The patient oftentimes and not always blesses me more. I mean, what gifts God has in store for us if we listen to His call. I am so thankful today to be here. Imagine the things that God had in mind for me in Hays, Kansas, as a little boy who couldn't pass the first grade. And here I am in Cincinnati, Ohio, in front of you, telling my story. To me, that is a miracle. I can't believe I'm here. I feel blessed to be among you today. I sense your spirit. I sense your spirit. God is in this place. He's going to continue the work that He started, folks. He's going to continue the work. And I will keep you in my prayers as well. You've got some things ahead of you, but God is good. All right. Let's finish with some music. And then I think I'm trying to last until Penny gets here. I don't know where she's at. Penny's on her own time, right, Immanuel? That's an inside joke. But Penny is going to bless you too. I think she's going to talk a little bit about Haiti. I'd love to talk to you about Haiti too. I've been on a couple mission trips down to Haiti. I'm telling you, they have, you know what? They have you need to reach out to Haiti. They feel like they've got a lost brother and sister up here. You know, they were the first nation of an enslaved nation that actually rose up against the government and overthrew the government. They want you to hear that. They want you to know their story. They want you to know that they're with you. But I don't know if Penny's going to talk about Haiti today or not, but I would love to talk.